Come on. Come on. Up, out. Face.
Attention order.
Hey, my name is Stephanie.
And I'm Chris.
And welcome to our story, or shall I say, his story.
Well, today we got a doozy for you. So we've been away for a while, but
Yeah,
we're back.
we're back.
Today's a special day, you know.
Yes, it is. Drum roll, please.
20 years ago today was my first day in the Army. 20 years ago today, I arrived at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri to start this amazing journey, and it's finally wrapping up. So
Congratulations.
after a lot of hard work, we're going to reap the benefits for the rest of our lives from this 20 years of experience.
And what we want to talk about is we want to focus on the transition from the military to civilian life, right? So let's talk about the programs that you use in order to do this.
So this has been a very interesting journey. You see, I'm in a very small unit, which is hours away from the nearest military installation. So I was kind of in my feelings a little bit. I was like, hey, I'm not going to have all of the opportunities and resources available to help me make this transition seamless.
Yeah.
How wrong was I?
Right. Yeah, you're pretty wrong.
So the people down at JBLM, the transition office, they made this extremely easy. They
Yes.
provided a wealth of information
Yep.
to put me in the best situation to transition from the military into civilian sector with ease.
Now, if we wanted to offer context, so where we were was Fort Knox, Kentucky, right? Which is where the HR hub is, right?
Yes.
And so now we're all the way on the West Coast, right? And so how far are we away? I mean,
We're
in
about
retrospect.
5 hours from the nearest Army installation.
Right. And you
know.
said it made you feel a little alienated?
Yeah, I was a little upset because I had made all those connections. I had
Yeah.
networked, all those resources available. I knew exactly what I was going to do if we would have stayed in Kentucky.
Yeah.
But this opportunity arose for me to come out to the West Coast. I had to take it.
Yes.
You know, and little did we know, it was a blessing in disguise.
It was.
I
It
mean,
was.
I can honestly say the opportunity that I got to take advantage of would not have been available to me. I don't think so.
Right.
In Kentucky.
Well, who knows what's good or bad, and we
Who
did a
knows?
whole video on that, so you can reference that video. All right, so let's talk about the different options, the different programs that you use to transition out.
All right, so once a month, the transition office at JBLM offers a briefing, and it goes over all the options. So I would first encourage you, if you haven't already, reach out to them, sign up for that briefing, get all the information, because there are a lot of options. 3 of which that really spoke to me was the Corporate Fellowship Program, the Skill Bridge Program, and the IBM Programmers Program. Now, the last one, it was like a pipe dream, but I was like, maybe not for me. So I applied for the Skill Bridge Program, for the Corporate Fellowship Program, and the Apprenticeship Program. The Corporate Fellowship Program was really enticing. The people over there were super nice. They had a great plan laid out for me, but I'm more of a control freak. So the fellowship program, the apprenticeship program allowed me to seek out my own opportunity, which I didn't think it was going to go well
Right.
because it was like, hey, this is a non-linear process. You have to find your own opportunity and
Right.
then develop that opportunity. You know, you have to facilitate the process yourself.
Right.
I mean, they give you people to kind of add some expertise, but you are the driving force behind your transition.
Right,
which,
absolutely.
As you should be.
Right.
So-
what about WorkX too? Don't forget to mention that.
So like I said, they give you some opportunities to work with experts and doing people who have done this before, people who specialize in taking advantage of this program, which is the apprenticeship program. So there are 2. There is WorkX and there is, what's the other one called?
Was it the Corporate Fellowship
No,
program?
it was WorkX. Well, I'll put it in the link. There's 2 programs.
Yeah.
I ended up going with WorkX.
Yeah.
You know, Hire Our Heroes was the other
That's
one.
right, Hire Our
So,
Heroes,
but
yeah.
they both were extremely friendly, great people. But in the end, I went with WorkX because they were a little further along in the process and they had more connections in the area I wanted to go into. So when I met with them, they helped with everything. They helped me come up with the agenda for my apprenticeship. They helped come up with the syllabus, identify what I would learn. Some of the best advice I got through this process was from them. They said, hey, don't go into this with the sole purpose of working for the organization that you have the apprenticeship with. Go in expecting to build your resume, gain some experience, and have a story to tell on the back end of what you achieved throughout this process. I.e., go into this opportunity identifying what you want to accomplish. That way you can articulate what you accomplished on the back end. If you have to go into interviews with other organizations, you can say, hey, I did an apprenticeship with this organization and this is what I achieved.
Absolutely. So I think this is the time to do some thank yous.
Oh, yeah.
I want to thank some people.
Absolutely. Yeah. I want to thank everybody who took the time to offer some mentorship, some guidance, because the funny thing about the Army is there are two kind of people. That the people who are talking about things they want to do,
right,
and people who have already done it.
Right.
And you got to be careful who you're talking to. And I ran into a lot of people who had actually done this and who were willing to offer advice, which is kind of odd because the people who are really good at this are no longer around. They've transitioned out and they're living their best lives. So I want to thank everybody at the transition office, everyone at Hire Our Heroes, everyone at WorkX who took the time to offer advice and guide me through this journey, because I had a general idea of what I wanted to do, but they helped me refine it and put me in a position to where I can have some tangible benefits on the back end. And that is 100% a result of their efforts.
Now, is there one piece of advice that really stuck with you through this process? Can you share that with us?
Yes. One piece of advice that was given to me is like, identify what you want to do and identify kind of what the ultimate outcome is. One person told me, hey, you can go out there and you can seek out all the money in the world and they'll be willing to give it to you, but they're going to give you all the work as well. He says, or you can go out there, you can find something that you are passionate about, something that you love doing. So every day you love walking through that door. So identify whether you want to make the money or whether you want to have the life. And that was great advice, because when I really thought about it, you know, I've been chasing titles and promotions for 20 years.
Yeah.
I really wanted to work for an organization that was bigger than me, something that had a mission and values that I can really sink my teeth in. And because of that advice, I was able to find an organization whose values and mission statement were 100% in line with what I wanted to be part of. So that was great advice. The second piece of advice is consult your significant other. They have been in the civilian sector working the entire time that you probably were in the military. They have a wealth of information.
Sure.
Get their buy-in, gather their input, and get them on board. Because if the spouse is not happy, nobody. Happy wife, happy life, basically, right? So those are the two advice that I would definitely hope that you would take heed to.
And also, too, it's the other way around, because we have a lot of women that are serving in the military, too.
Oh, yeah.
So happy husband, happy life, right?
Yep.
Okay, so the people that are watching really probably want to know what the step process was. So you're coming up, you've got 1 year left in the military. So what are some of the things they need to think about doing? What were the steps that you took to make sure that your transition was seamless?
So the first thing I did was I went through the TAPS briefing. And they had some great programs as well. I'm an entrepreneur at heart. That's one of my favorite hobbies. And they had some opportunities at TAP. So if you're interested in entrepreneurship, that would be your first step, is to reach out to them so they can put you into the right courses so that you can pursue your entrepreneurial goals. Me, I like being an entrepreneur on the side.
Yes.
Also, maintaining my 9-to-5 job. I like to have multiple streams of income. But step one would be definitely to go through the TAPS briefing so you can make sure that you know all the requirements necessary to make the transition, because it's real easy to miss a step, and no one likes going back and redoing things that they should have done earlier.
Oh, yeah.
The second thing is identify what it is that you want to do. I mean, I'm not telling you to have a step-by-step itemized plan of what you want to achieve. Just have a general idea. It will change. Trust me, it will change over time. It's just like the Army. You're going to get there, see somebody doing something cool, and like, ooh, I want to do that too, and you can change it. So have a general idea of what you want to do. That way you can know which organizations you need to reach out to. I will tell you, these organizations are a lot more receptive to the apprenticeship program than you think. I thought it was going to be super hard getting somebody to give me an opportunity to come in and work, but they were really receptive. Like, oh, we get 6 months with you? An Army gonna pay for it?
Right.
They were 100% on board.
Yeah.
More than what I found was people were super willing to just help out, just to lend a helping hand, which I'm happy about that, because they were like, yo, let's have a meeting, let's Zoom. And that brings me to the next point. The pandemic kind of helped me out. I mean, it sucks to say because people were having a rough time, but this transition to Zoom allowed me to get into certain spaces that I would not have necessarily had access to via the time constraints associated with still being an active duty soldier, trying to manage family life, and managing this transition requirement. So the next step will be to sit down, come up with what you want to do, have a plan, and try to figure out a way how you can accurately communicate that to others so that they can get a clear idea of what you want to achieve.
So it sounds like you've used all of your resources. If I'm listening at this correctly, every resource that was available to you, you used it. Is that right?
And then the next step would be to make the phone calls. Start calling those organizations, get on Indeed, get on LinkedIn, find out what job opportunities are available and start calling them. Don't email them, don't attach a letter to your resume, do that as well. But pick up the phone, make the call, send the emails, do some active prospecting for your next career journey.
Right.
So, and lastly, just get up and take action.
Good deal.
Action begets action.
Yep. And we have a video on that as well. So what would be your one big piece of advice? We know you had a lot of anxiety associated with doing 20 years in one particular profession to now then transition over to another profession. What is like your one big piece of advice for our viewers out there?
Just to get up and take action. Don't sit there and look at what you don't have. Just make do with what you do have. Like I said, I was super upset. I was really upset that I had moved away from a large installation and I was 5 hours away from the flagpole and I wasn't going to have those resources. But when I actually got up and started doing things, I saw that those opportunities were still available to me and people were ready and willing to help me out.
Awesome. Well, I think that's awesome that you shared your journey today, and thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. And just remember to do something nice for someone today, and you can do it.
And remember, we're just ordinary people trying to do extraordinary things.
I love it.